Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. This is our episode for October 12th, 2021. And I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
Across the ice, right side, Dubinsky centered, they score! Cole Dubinsky with his first of the season. Now to the right point, Skolzo, wrist shot, deflected, scores! Cole Carriere with the deflection in front of...
Well, Chris, this was not a good week in Pats land. 3 games, 3 L's, and I don't know. I was thinking about coming into this episode, and to be honest, I'm disappointed. I'm not happy. I'm disappointed as a Pats fan. Not impressed really at all this week. I'm getting tired. I think we've been through the ringer. We've had those teams. This was the year things were supposed to turn around a little bit for us, and we didn't really see much evidence of that coming to fruition this week. We came in on a high. We beat PA, but PA's not looking all that great either. And so those 2 wins over them is someone that sounds like we should be beating. And then we come into this week. We knew Winnipeg was a good team, and they are a very good team, don't get me wrong, but they absolutely waxed us. We looked terrible against them. Moose Jaw, that's a winnable game. Didn't look great there. And then Brandon, it looks like we played better against Brandon, but couldn't pull out the win. And that's 3 losses in a row, really, in a week, and a tough week coming up. So I don't know. I guess it's we're usually kind of homers and fans here, but boy, as a fan, it's not pleasant right now in Pats land, and I don't know, feels like there needs to be a little bit of a change here somewhat. We'll go through maybe an attempt at that with the organization pulled today, but I mean, overall, we're not going to go through each game individually like we usually do. But what's your feeling of this week?
Yeah, like you said, disappointing. You know, I don't think we expected a win in Winnipeg, but Moose Jaw and Brandon were both winnable games. And I mean, for the most part, you know, maybe if they get an early goal in that Brandon game, that changes things. You know, they played better. You know, Moose Jaw was a 1-goal game. That's tough, but you needed a couple or at least 1 win there, maybe 3 points out of those 2 games. Because, you're looking at Winnipeg again this week. And, You know, we've seen what Winnipeg's done. You said what their goal plus is already 25 goals.
They've played 4 games. They're plus 25. 30 goals for, like 5 against. Like, they're going to be a monster of a team. And we have them twice, a home and home against them this week. Whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm not super excited for it, though.
No, it's going to be a tough weekend, that's for sure. At least we get to start at home. We don't have to make 2 trips, but
yeah,
it's a little disappointing. And maybe like you mentioned, maybe there's a little shakeup with this trade today. I don't know what the thinking behind it is, because you know a guy like Sloan Stanek is maybe a guy that's going to put up some goals this year. Maybe we had some optimism for his game.
Yeah, so
to trade him for like more of a stay-at-home defenseman.
So anyone doesn't know, Sloan Stanek was dealt to Prince Albert today. He's an 18-year-old forward for returning Adam McNutt, 18-year-old defenseman. In their release, they emphasize that McNutt is a right-handed defenseman, and I did post something a few weeks ago saying that we have pretty much, I don't know if we had any. So there obviously was a need, but when you look at the need right now, and we've talked about this in our season opener, our defense doesn't seem to be the weak point of this team right now. And through these 3 games, it's goal scoring, which is in the I know it's preseason, but man, they were scoring lots of goals in preseason, and it looked pretty good. They were doing some nice plays and tic-tac-toes and nice goals, but that has dried up this week. I mean, the other thing too is it's the same old story with us too. The penalties, and you just against a Winnipeg team like that, they absolutely murdered us. Anytime, like any penalty against them, you're gonna have to play a pretty near perfect game to beat them, and you can't be taking the penalties we do. And some of them are so undisciplined and just ugly, and some are inexcusable, and by some and our leaders too, right? Like you're looking at like Evans and taking Drew Engelott taking the double minor right off the start, and just some of the stuff going on and the penalties. In your Moose Jaw game, 20 some minutes, 5 minutes of was a major, but 16 minutes, you're talking almost a full period of playing down. Like, man, that's ugly hockey. There needs to be some changes with that. It's going to be a long season and a disappointing season if this doesn't. I know it's early. We're 5 games in and not thrown in the towel, but I wanted more. I wanted more to start off, right?
Yeah, you get that quick start with two wins right off the hop. Right. It's nice, but they couldn't parlay that into some more wins here this week, which is a little unfortunate because there was opportunity there.
And let's talk about Bedard. I mean, look at this Brandon game. His line ended up -3. That's not what you need.
That's rough.
It's not what you need. So you have Stringer and Dubinsky and him -3. Nyhoff's line -2. Riker Evans -2. That's the people you want on the ice when you're scoring goals. And I don't know, we're not only do we not have secondary scoring, we don't have primary scoring right now either, right? Like, and Connor Bedard did get robbed a number of times. He's allowed to have a slump. Don't get me wrong. He's 16. He can have slumps, but he did have some chances in the Winnipeg and the Moose Jaw game for sure. There's some good goaltending from Moose Jaw, but again, we can't hang our hat on a 16-year-old. We need that secondary or first level, like 1A, 1B scoring, right? So
yeah, exactly. So that's what that makes this trade maybe a little interesting, but we don't know obviously the whole story. A guy like Johnson didn't look like he finished that Brandon game, so maybe there's hopefully not a long-term situation there. I guess we'll find out tomorrow on the weekly report, Wednesday, that is. So yeah, I don't know. And like they said, the right-handed D-man, and that we have one other right-handed D-man. That's it. So, but yeah, well, we'll see what happens, because that age group in the defense is stacked now. You got Johnson, Svozil, Berg, McNutt, and Taylor, who's not with the team at the moment. But
right.
You got 5 guys at that age group. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, We'll see. We'll see what goes on.
I know. So you see, like a guy like a Howe will probably jump up in that line. That line seemed to have some chemistry. I thought Stanikerr and Smith, right? Like I thought they did all right.
Yeah, they did actually. So, you're right.
So I guess I think a guy like Howe will jump up there, or maybe they totally mix up the lines going into this Winnipeg set here. But they've kept the lines pretty standard, except for that fourth line kind of just rotating those guys, bottom guys in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen Michaels yet.
Michaels,
at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe some room for those guys to move in. Hopefully something lights a fire under these guys, and we hope for a bit of a better week coming up. My other question is, when does Keeper get a break? He's played every game so far, and he's looked good. Don't get me wrong. But we talked about earlier on, he's still a young goaltender, has not played more than probably 20-some games this season, and now, I can't see him playing both these games.
I don't know. I mean, he played 3 this week.
I don't know.
I mean, he's got the week off after, right? They play home and home, and then they play not till Friday again, home and home with Saskatoon. So
you think he plays both?
Then I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay.
And then the week after again is home and home with Swift Current.
Yeah.
So you got just 3 home and homes coming up on the weekends. Well, and
Okay.
the Saskatoon one's a Friday, Sunday,
Yeah.
so you get a day off there.
Yeah, I mean, it is not a bad schedule so far. November heats up a little bit, and especially with the road trip. But I don't know. We'll see. So if anything, he's been a bit of a bright spot. I've been really actually quite impressed with his play.
Yeah, because
He's
we
played
weren't
well.
too sure what to expect from him. Like with him being young and stuff, you never know. But he definitely has looked good. Let's definitely say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good spot. I mean, anything else you want to say about these games?
Not really. I think we can kind of move on.
Let's just move on. Yeah. No, I'm not thrilled. I mean, as a fan, I'm doing this. I'm tired of making excuses. Like, we're supposed to be past this, and this is supposed to be the better year. So, like I said, it's early. I'm not cashing it in yet and leaving, but I don't know. I'm hoping for more, and it's gonna be a tough week.
Yeah, because this team's going to be on the cusp of the playoffs, I think.
Yeah.
And games like the Brandon and the Moose Jaw games are, you look back at it, like you look at the Jays, how they missed out on it the playoffs by one game. You look at a game like the Moose Jaw or Brandon, that was an opportunity for a point or two in those games.
Yeah. You need them all.
Yeah, they count the same now as they do in March when they're big.
Exactly. So anyways, let's some Pats news here. So the 20-year-old situation seems to be cleared up. Chorney was sort of unceremoniously released, and we looked and can't see where he is at the moment, whether he ends up in a... where's he from originally? Just thinking if he'll end
Sherwood
up in...
Park.
Okay, so he might end up in the AJHL or who knows, maybe into... Well, it's too late for CIS, but don't know. So hopefully he finds a place to play this year, and yeah, he was a good player. Just it was kind of a tough situation with our 20-year-olds this year.
Yeah, and he didn't get any looks at all in the regular season, so it's kind of not surprising. They like Smith's game apparently, so they're moving on with him.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of where we would have went to, right? We liked Smith.
So, yeah.
I think between the two. Yeah. Some other news. So. Leighton Feist, Tyson Feist has been named the captain of Kelowna. So good for him. Moving on from the Pats, and went over there for their Memorial Cup run that never panned out, and is now captaining that team. So good for him. We were also last week. I was ranting a little bit about the ticket prices of the Pats, and you found some information out there that PA. I said they need to do some family stuff, so you found out PA's doing a family deal, which is great. So that's probably 2 adult and 2 kids, and
and
some
there's
hot dogs
a
and
food
stuff,
voucher or something to go along with that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I did see the Riders are doing the same thing, because if anyone's watched a CFL game lately, they have some empty seats as well.
I was at the game this weekend again.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't like the CFL, you're going to an awful lot.
Well, there's opportunities, free tickets, so
yeah,
I was there. More Rider games I've seen than past games this year. Unfortunately,
you're right. Actually,
our schedule is just not working out for us here, and I'm gonna miss all the home games. I'm gonna be sitting at home watching them.
Yeah, but
it's unfortunate.
I was just going to say, though, the Riders are doing a family deal, and I forget the exact price point, but it was reasonable, really reasonable. I took note of it, that it was less than buying 4 Pats tickets. So,
oh, for sure. Well, I mean, $35 gets you in the door at a Riders game.
Yeah, and this was, I want to say less than, like it was in the $90s. It was less than $100 for 4 tickets, and maybe even some... Who knows? I don't know. It was a good deal, though. I was impressed when I saw it, and just made me think of what the Pats need to do to get some people through the doors. And the crackdown on
then I saw Moose Jaw. They were doing a deal for all the Pats home games when they were in Moose Jaw.
Okay, so that's what
kind
we played
of
them 9
trying to cash
times,
in on the
so
rivalry there.
4 or
Even
5
for
games.
Regina fans, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know if I would do
I'm
that
not
again.
spending time at that place ever again. So they told me not to come back, so I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, if anyone wants a night out, go out to Moose Jaw and watch a game and wear your Pat stuff for sure. And you'll have some
they'll
stories.
let me know.
You'll have some stories to tell. But it's fun. That's good for them. I mean, they're trying something, right? So
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. And then some other news. So the NHL kicked off tonight. Fanfare with that, but news related to that.
Doubleheader on ESPN.
Yeah, the Kraken are playing their first game. And 9 Pats are on opening rosters for the NHL. So that's exciting news.
Yeah, some names you'll remember, maybe a couple you won't.
Yeah,
but,
some people didn't play a whole ton here, but who's your pick this year for the NHL?
Oh, I don't know. Colorado's my team.
Yeah.
So they have a good chance.
They should. Man, they have a good
goaltending,
team.
But see what happens.
They have a good team. They should do better than they have. I've been disappointed with them lately.
Well, it's goaltending and injuries to goaltending has been their kind of Achilles the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a ton. I just kind of follow, but I don't really watch it all. Focused on this instead.
Yeah. Any other news around the league?
Not that I really saw. This, there's go back to the OAs. The cut down day is the 14th here coming up. So there's been a couple moves here the last couple of days. So, I mean, the Pats got that figured out. But other than that, I haven't noticed much game going on tonight. We had Kamloops and Victoria tonight.
Yeah.
Some Tuesday night action.
Yeah.
2-0 Kamloops at the moment. So that's about it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's wrap it up. We're trying to keep things a little bit tighter this season, not ramble on for 45 minutes. So trying to keep them a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker for you guys. And frankly, didn't want to dwell on this week. So let's wash our hands. Big test. If they can split this week, win one, and then a good effort in the next, I'd be back on board here and think things are going right. But if they look terrible, man, there was so many odd man rushes in that Winnipeg game, and I'm not talking 2-on-1s. It was 2-on-nones, and there was a 3-on-none. When I was just like, forget this.
Yeah, definitely. That's tough to watch stuff like that.
That's ugly. That was an ugly game. So if we can redeem ourselves, get our heads on right, and play, it's tough.
Maybe that
tough team.
Maybe that game will get them focused and say, hey, look at this is a premier team in the league this year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come up with the best effort
to
give yourself a chance to win.
Yeah.
Let alone,
and it's it's stay out of the box, play good fundamental hockey, and then we'll see. And let's see what happens. I'm hoping for a split at least, and at the very least, good play. Just look better. Be better, Pats. Do it. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. And we will talk to you guys again next week. See you at the rink.
All right, good night, folks.
Patscast is a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. If you're interested in other homegrown podcasts with a wide variety of topics, check out saskpodcastnetwork.com.